The whispering tree. At the edge of a wide, peaceful meadow stood a tree unlike the others. It was not the tallest, nor the oldest, nor the strongest. Its branches curved gently instead of reaching sharply upward, and its leaves were smaller, softer, and always moving, even when the wind seemed to rest. People who passed by often felt calmer near it, though they could never quite explain why. This tree whispered not loudly and not in words anyone could clearly hear. Its whispers were more like feelings drifting through the air, gentle hums, soft sighs, quiet comforts that settled into the chest rather than the ears. The tree had not always whispered. Long ago, when it was young, it had tried to speak loudly, rustling its leaves with all its strength. But the meadow was wide, and no one stayed long enough to listen. Over time, the tree learned something important. Loudness did not bring closeness. Stillness did. So it began to whisper. Each evening, when the sun dipped low and painted the meadow in amber light, the tree let its leaves brush together softly. The sound was barely there, like breath passing through a dream. Birds noticed first. Small sparrows began choosing its branches for rest, settling into sleep more easily there than anywhere else. They did not know why, only that their wings felt lighter when they landed. At night, when the moon climbed into the sky, the whispers deepened. They became slow and steady, like a lullaby remembered from long ago. The grass leaned toward the sound. The air itself seemed to pause and listen. Even the insects quieted, their buzzing softening into a gentle rhythm that matched the tree's breathing. The tree listened, too. It listened to the rustle of the meadow, to the faraway call of owls, to the thoughts of passing travelers who leaned against its trunk without realizing why. Some came tired from long roads. Some came carrying worries too heavy to name. They rested beneath the tree and felt, for a moment, less alone. Still, the tree sometimes wondered if it truly mattered. It did not bear fruit. It did not give shade as wide as others. It did not stand in the center of the meadow where everyone could see it. It simply stood where it was, whispering into the open air, unsure who heard. One evening, as the sky darkened more quickly than usual, a child wandered into the meadow. The child's steps were slow, uncertain, as if the world felt larger than it should. The meadow stretched quietly around them, and the night seemed close. The child stopped near the whispering tree, unsure why, and sat down against its trunk. The tree felt the child's sadness, the way roots feel changes in the soil. It did not ask questions. It did not try to fix anything. It simply whispered a little more clearly, letting its leaves brush together in a slow, steady rhythm. The sound was soft, almost like breathing. The child leaned back, surprised by the calm that settled over them. Their shoulders lowered. Their breath slowed. The meadow felt less empty. The tree did not know the child's story, but it held the moment carefully, offering stillness instead of answers. As the seasons passed, more creatures learned the tree's quiet language. Deer paused beneath its branches at dusk. Foxes curled near its roots on cool nights. Even the wind treated it differently, passing through with gentler hands, as if respecting something fragile and precious. The tree began to understand that its whispers were not meant to travel far. They were meant to be found. During a long winter, when snow covered the meadow and the world felt hushed, the tree's leaves fell away. It worried then, believing its whispering days were over, but even bare, Its branches creaked softly in the cold air, and the sound carried comfort of a different kind, steady, patient, enduring. One snowy night, a small bird found refuge in the hollow near the tree's trunk. The tree held still through the cold, sheltering the bird from the wind. No leaves whispered that night, yet something else did, the quiet promise of safety. When spring returned, the tree's leaves grew back, and with them came the whispers once more. They were softer now, wiser somehow. The tree no longer worried about being heard by everyone. It trusted that those who needed the sound would find it. The meadow changed year after year. Paths shifted, people came and went, but the whispering tree remained, offering its gentle presence without asking for anything in return. If you ever walk through a quiet place and feel suddenly calmer, as though the air itself is reassuring you, perhaps you have passed near a tree like this one. A tree that does not shout, does not demand attention, but whispers softly into the world, reminding it how to rest. And in that whisper, the night grows kinder.